What's up, YouTube? Back with another video. LA Mamba. It is September 10, 2023. It is 2:19 p.m. We are closed for the day and here to talk about the tire shop business and multiple streams of income. And here you go. Again today, I spent a lot of time organizing the tire shop when it comes to this time. Just putting one size per row on a lot of these racks, and we made some space in here, so a lot of these are random tires, and we had a lot of work. Half of the day we were slammed, the other half it was slow. My guess, because today is like opening season of the football, I don't know, but anyway, we organized really good. All that one size, all these are one size, all those are randoms, and one size right here, the 18s, right? And we got to the 15s. We got them from right there where we're at right now to over here. So now we have all the 15s here, 100% of the shop. When it comes to being in the back of the shop, they're all right there now. So I want to talk to you today about more on the multiple streams of income. A lot of it is real estate. I feel that, you know, we got to continue our life, our business life, not just here in the tire shop business, but also when it comes to building our own nest egg of financial freedom. And you know, I feel that because I've been learning so much throughout the years, and I know so many people in the real estate business when it comes to like investors and people are there active in the business. And I mean, the whole world of real estate is what I learned. And you gotta look at business and real estate for what it is in your life. And when it comes to the real estate, I treat it as investments. So I gotta look at it as building a portfolio. And I didn't understand that in the beginning. I just thought it was just like a cool name, like just to sound important. Because if you go to these real estate meetups, you'll understand what I'm talking about. All these things have like cool names. It's like, you know, syndication, waterfalls, underwriting, I mean, all these things, I can't think about them right now, but the point is like, portfolio, right? It's just like, oh, okay, just a fancy name for like your properties that you buy, you know, big wow. But I come to learn that it's not just a fancy name. It is really real. Like, you want to have multiple gains from different asset classes, and you want to be more like have everything in it, like more conservative, more like a hybrid, like in the middle that does both, or more like high risk, high yield, right? So you want to have everything, because like if it's like conservative, means you're gonna be real safe when you invest, and like real low percentage that if something goes wrong, you're gonna lose your business, your property in this case. High risk means it's gonna make you a lot of money, but there's gonna be like a lot of headaches. And high risk of losing your money if one day something goes bad. And then like in the middle, like more like bread and butter, like it's making a little bit of money, a decent amount of money, and it's growing a decent amount when it comes to like time, appreciation, and potential. I have everything in my portfolio. when it comes to like conservative, I made a note. A note is pretty much a mortgage when it comes to like a person doing business with. So I'm the seller of a property, and I found a buyer of a property, and we do a deal through escrow, which is I'm gonna sell him the property, but I'm gonna finance it. So if he doesn't pay, I keep the property back. It's a 10% loan that I made for him, and it's a pretty safe one because like he pays for the taxes. It's his property now. He rents it or he lives there or whatever. You know, he maintenance the toilets and all that stuff. He takes care of the whole thing. I don't know nothing about what's going on. I just know that every single month I'm gonna get paid my mortgage, right? My mortgage payment. That's very conservative on the debt side. On the high risk side is more like my Hemet property, where I made like this small bootleg mobile home park that has trailers. I got containers there, and everybody pays me rent. Supposed to be per month, but you know, because it's the style of like little trailers that I put on there, like travel trailers pretty much, and I pretty much plumbed up, put electricity on it. I put the water on it, and a lot of people do not want to live in those. You know, it's clean and all that, they're nice and all that, but you know, a lot of places they're used to like a structure to live in it, not a trailer, like a camping trailer, right? But it's bigger. It's a travel trailer. It's like 32 feet long, right? Each one. And then a property of acres, so they got a bunch of people together. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Everybody has parking and all that, plenty of parking and stuff. But the style of tenants that you got to get in those is the type that they want to live there and they do want to pay you rent, but a lot of times they can't because something happens. Like it's always like an emergency happens, and like they end up not paying you rent on time. They pay you really late. They pay you, but they pay you like something like 2 months late or stuff. So it's pretty high risk, because like if it goes like 3 months and they're like, damn, like if you're gonna think about evicting them, then you're like, oh shoot, like I got to now pay for eviction and all that, right? Which I've done in the past when it comes to the trailers. So it's high risk that you get paid slowly, and I'll send you $500 this month. I'll have $500 this week. In 2 weeks, I'll save that $500, and it's like little by little they pay you rent like that, and that's like higher risk, right? Because it's like, what if one day they just don't want to pay you rent no more? It's like, damn, like, so it's kind of like, and you have your money there invested in the property, so that's high risk. More of my middle stuff is like 4 units I bought less than a year ago. They're bread and butter, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, very consistent. And it says it's a 4 unit or 2 and 2, right? So like, it's gonna be a while since you get good appreciation. It's gonna take some time because you can't really force appreciate it. You gotta do with comparables. So because it's like that, it's gonna really like take some time to appreciate on its own. But you know, it's pretty much, you can't do nothing about that kind of in a way. It's just a little bit of a waiting time, which is fine because I have no plans of selling them. And another investment is when I bought the 8 unit about a few months ago nearby those 4 units. That's also more of a bread and butter, because although yes, it has potential to like raise rents, force appreciation, and sell it for a bigger gain, it's really gonna take years, because the rents are, let's say, at $865 and market rent is like $1,050. So it's gonna take about 2 years for me to do the full rent raises to get to market what it is now. But in 2 years from now, it's not gonna be $1,050. It's gonna be like, I don't know, probably like $1,150 or something. I don't know, $1,200 or something. We'll see. Normally rents go up. I'm talking about here in Cali, you know, really wanting to place, like, rents are just gonna be forced up because there's just not enough housing, and everybody wants to rent, and it's like, you know, there's a demand, so the value goes up, right? So then I gotta also like evict one person and potentially two, and so, you know, that's more of a bread and butter situation. It's not really like high risk, because when I bought the property, it's already had eight units rented, so I paid market price pretty much, and you know, it's just a steady Eddie property. It's just gonna increase with rent raises, and it's just like, you know, it's gonna go for sure. It's gonna increase a little bit faster than the 4 unit because I'm gonna be forcing the appreciation, but it's still like a bread and butter property. So, you know, we got a little bit of everything when it comes to like my properties. I got the mobile home park. It's actually more on the middle side now. It was more on the conservative side, in my opinion, but now became more in the middle because now it's really appreciating with the properties around there. The mobile home park consistently shoots out the rents. Again, it's about 10 days late, unusual when it comes to like 2 of them or so, and it's just, you know, very consistent property. It's not really conservative because there is a little bit of you know, I gotta talk to them a little bit and make sure, oh, I had a little slow day, a little slow month or whatever, I'm gonna be a couple days late. So it's not as it was before in the beginning, but now it's still like good. It's still appreciating. It's still throwing off a bunch of cash flow. That was high cash flow, by the way, but it's more on the conservative side when it comes to my portfolio, right? It's more on the safe side, but it's still name it in the middle though. Multifamily. It's still multifamily. So, you know, little by little, I've been learning and I've been just acquiring properties, working really hard at the tire shop, cash flow from the tire shop, and then like whenever I'm ready for another property, I you know, I see what kind of debt is available for me at the time, and for that you got to educate yourself. You know, you just got to talk to new people. There's always new products that are available when it comes to mortgages, and companies are always offering different products. I just heard this last meetup I went to that for a 6.5%, if you're a flipper, you're able to get some financing. I have never heard of that in my life. You know, flippers have always had very expensive rates because it's very high. It's very high risk. So when I've heard that, it was like, no way. And you know what? I actually invited my loan broker to the meetup, and he went and he was talking to the lady too, and he's like, wow, like I gotta link into it, but that's like, I never heard of that before too. But yeah, so like again, it just shows like I've been networking too, and I had my broker come in, and I, you know, I want to be talking to him real close too, you know, like even though, yeah, he did my loan and we're pretty cool with each other, it doesn't mean like I'm always talking to him, and like, you know, all that talking stuff, it takes time. So like a lot of people, these people are busy, so you really gotta talk to them once in a while, right? It's and learn from each other as much as you can while you're with that person, and you gotta do that with multiple people. So just an example, this Thursday I want to meet up with another buddy of mine. He's an investor, and he's a few steps ahead of me when it comes to deal flow. When it comes to, of course, properties, he has much more properties and more valuable ones. But when it comes to wisdom and when it comes to experience, he's only a few steps ahead of me. So I want to learn the few steps that I need to go to get to where he's at. And again, it's not about like the amount of money that he has, right? It's not about that. It's about the transactions. Like, oh, I went through this. He was telling me like, well, appraisers are the ones that put the rates for the rents It's not about the banks. The banks just take the input. So it's really and the appraisers do it differently. They either can do by market rents, so they'll count market rents, or they'll count it by the contracts, which is the leases, right? So it's really up to them how they're gonna value the property. And he was just telling me things like that, and I was like, oh, I always thought the banks were the ones who were putting the values on the rents, or I thought it was only based on the contracts. It turns out it's not like that. It turns out if you have an empty unit, they can run it like that, because you know, sooner or later you're gonna be renting it for that price. And I'm talking about like if you're doing a portfolio loan, which is like what I'm talking about right now, right? And so like I'm not trying to get there a portfolio loan yet, but I want to learn about this, so if one day I'm able to do something like he's doing, then I'll be able to make it happen. So it's very interesting, because you know, you look at properties and you're seeing like, all right, like this is available, this is available, this is available, right? But again, what I'm learning is he actually made it happen when it comes to creating a portfolio, not just buying a portfolio. So he saw a few properties available on in this one market. Let's say it's I'm not sure if it's Victorville or Apple Valley, but the point is like there were like a few, like 1 street away, a 3 unit, 1 street away, like a 4, and houses around nearby, whatever, right? So he went up to all of them, talked to them, negotiated the price, and even hit up the homes around it, see if they wanted to sell. And they did, and they negotiated a price, and along with a piece of land that was there. And so he goes to his broker and says, I want to create a portfolio with all these 17 units with one loan. What do we got to do to make it happen? And it's been an incredible journey. I've just been looking at it from a distance, the very few times I've talked to him. But the point is that it was created out of nothing. It was created, well, he has, of course, the money down, and he knows the broker. But when it comes to like those properties in a portfolio, no, it was just all spread out. And he's the one that wants to put them all together and get them all financed with one loan and create a portfolio loan with these properties with debt. And it's actually been pretty interesting, because the debt, the amount of down payment that he's got to put in, it's actually pretty awesome. I'm not sure if it was like, you know, 20% down or 15% down potentially, but that's amazing. I mean, to me, it's like, wow, I never knew anything about that, and I want to learn more about that. And it just goes to show that, you know, you always got to like network, and you always got to like build friendships around that you can, you know, share also what you're doing. It doesn't have to be like you're doing, you know, mega, you know, stuff like that, but it's just like, hey, I'm doing this in my business, you know. Like we're forcing appreciation, right? We're creating a value add in the tire shop. Just an example, right? No, I'm doing things in real estate too, but what I'm saying is, you know, it doesn't take a lot for people to like take you serious, that you really do want to grow, and they're willing to spend some time to teach you what they've done or what they want to do or what they're learning currently, because as they're going, they're also learning too, right? Not just because they know more than you, they just stop learning, just doing the same thing over and over. And so like, it's awesome to see as they're learning, you're also learning with them what they're learning. And even though you're not learning exactly the same things as they are, they can just tell you it's in bits and pieces. Like I just told you about the appraiser, that's enough information for you to know in the future, okay, well, if I get more into commercial, let's see what the appraisers are willing to appraise this property for. It doesn't have to be based on the rent contracts, right? And I think that's very, very awesome. It just like, it gives you more potential to grow in a way that you thought you never were able to grow before, that you didn't have the opportunity to grow, but because of information, but because you're learning, hey, you are actually to be potentially have this instead of this. And it's like, wow, that's awesome. So the point is, like, you know, with real estate and the tire shop business, again, it's like, it's super beautiful. It's awesome. And just an example, like, you have a big advantage if you own a business and you're investing in real estate. It's a very big advantage. I personally know a lot of investors that don't have a job, and it can be harder for them to get loans if they don't have like a big net worth, if they don't have a lot of equity in their properties. You know, a tire shop, a business, it goes a very long way. So just an example, like, all my properties are cash flowing and they're making good money and paying for themselves. But I have built this tire shop very strong that if I had no tenants in my properties, you know, if there was no cash flow and, you know, all that, if they were just vacant, I can, you know, pay the mortgages on my own, like working hard for the tire shop, and I'll be able to pay them, all the mortgages, without needing any tenants. So now that'll be a stupid way to invest in real estate. And that's, I don't want to say stupid, but like not a smart way to do it. But at least I know that I don't have to be scared if, you know, a tenant doesn't pay here and there, whatever. It's all good. Like, they'll pay me next week, next month, whatever. You know, it's all good. As long as they're paying, and I'm over here, you know, working hard at the shop. And okay, well, everybody's paid, mortgages are paid and all that. And okay, there's savings now, and their savings, we'll save it this month. Hopefully we'll do the same thing next month. We'll save, and we'll just stack up until we can buy another property, right? Another asset, whatever we want to do. I'm actually still undecided what I want to do. I want to still go for the next property, or if I want to go into getting the Allstate insurance company that I've been telling you guys about. There's a lot more potential in cash flow with the Allstate business, but it will be in about 2 years, because if I buy one now, it's really bad cash flow right now because of all the insurance stuff that's going on with California. So when it comes to real estate, we all know that we're never going to be scared of owning it if you're doing everything right, if you're managing correctly, if you're watching your properties really good, you have a good property manager, or you're managing yourself really good. Because we can always get another tenant. We can always fill it in with another person that's really wanting to live there and pay the rent. And for Cali, you know, it's no norm for, like, you know, I want to say what I've seen, right? People do want to live there and people do want to pay rent, because if they don't have a home, you can see all these homeless people out there that they just couldn't make it for one reason or another, that they're going to try their best to stay in their home and pay rather than be on the street, man. It's like, it's bad out there, you know. It's I've never been there myself, but, you know, I do know people, and I know people currently that are on the streets right now, and it's like it's not fun, right? It's a whole nother lifestyle you got to, like, prepare and stuff every single day when it comes to living like that, instead of just going home and relax, right? But that's what I'm saying. For the most part, you know, Cali, I love it that they're just wanting to pay, and they're gonna pay, and because of that, the real estate business will work, and it is working, and we will continue to find new ways to get more on our hands, right? And everybody, I mean, there's more enough real estate for everybody in this world to have, and more. It's unlimited, pretty much. Even though there's limited amount of property, and that's why the appreciates and all that. One of the reasons, but there's more than enough for all of us, So, I'm still working towards my goals when it comes to being truly financial free. I know I have enough to like cover my personal debt for the month, but not live the way I want to live when it comes to what I currently have, right? When it comes to property. So I'm gonna continue to grow, or pay off debt, or continue. But we gotta do things we never seen it happen before, right? Like I was just listening to someone talk the other day, and he's saying, we gotta do things that we never seen done before, and we're not done yet, and we gotta teach people that want to grow, and it's not about you, it's not about them, but it's all about their families. It's about how they're gonna grow themselves and feed their families, right? And I was like, man, that was like hit me right. It's just like perfect. It was just like a bullseye. It was just like, man, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like you help someone else, create money so like they can, feed their families, live a good life, right? So I think that it's just the way to go, and we're just not gonna stop until we get there, until you call it quits, pretty much, until I call it quits, right? That's the end goal. But till then, we got a long way to go. So all right, guys, well, I'm gonna let you guys go. See you guys next time. Mamba out.